Oh my goodness. I have been sitting here for what, at least 10 minutes? When was the stream supposed to start? Doesn't matter. I've been sitting here. I did not hit my live button. And I've been sitting here talking to myself, answering all these questions. Okay. Yeah, I'm an idiot. Let's start this over. Okay. LG, welcome to the show. Thank you very much for coming to my impromptu stream here. Yes, I'm an idiot. Angela, hi, what's up? JC, I was so confused because I was answering yours and Angela's questions, but obviously I wasn't live, so I'll get back to those. G Scott, what's up? When's the stream? Yeah, I didn't realize that until this. Angela said, "What time will the stream start?" All right, back to answering questions. Let's get back to why we're here. All right, JC, am I eligible for PACT if I've been constantly exposed to EMF, RF energy? So one, I'm assuming RF is radio frequency. And if that's the case, that answer is no. So EMF, RF energy is not a part of the PACT Act. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't claim something off of it, but you're going to need a current diagnosis. I don't know of any diagnosis that is caused by RF energy. It's more so a old wives' tale, if you will, from like the EMS community, electromagnetic spectrum, community. So short answer, no, it's not covered in there. G Scott, what's up? Angela, 55-year-old. Yeah, so to keep this as basic as possible, a lot of people like to overcomplicate this. There's really no rhyme or reason for it. If you're 55 years or older, your rating's generally protected. When I say generally, I mean like 99% of the time. In cases of like cancer and you're in remission or it's healed, then that rating for cancer will be reduced. Whatever your ratings are and you're 55 years old, don't sweat it. Our bodies don't heal. And at 55 years old, your body definitely does not heal. So whatever ratings you have, I wouldn't sweat it at all. Angela, are you eligible for PACT Act? So I did this talking to myself, but I will share my screen here. Let's get this going. I will tell you if you're eligible for PACT Act. Let me change this bad boy to down here. All right, we're good. Okay, is Angela eligible for PACT Act? Let's see. All right, PACT Act stuff. Okay, so first, you're 55, so I assume this is you, but let's just cover all avenues here. So September 11th, 2001, if you were in any of these countries, to include the airspace. So if that's to you, that answer is yes. And or August 2nd of 1990, in any of these countries, to include the airspace. And there are some gulfs there, like the Gulf of Aden, Gulf of Oman, are also a part of that. And so if that answer is yes, that's the time criteria, and you are eligible for PACT Act. As far as conditions go, up here is the top. So you got brain, you got gastro, GI is the most common. There's some other cancers there. And then as far as illnesses go, the most common are your asthma, bronchitis, rhinitis, sinusitis, and then you have COPD up there too. But there's others as well. All right. So if that answer is yes to any of those, or to the time criteria, Angela, then yes, you are. All right. Moises says, came in with asymptomatic flat feet, went to get seen by a foot doctor, got inserts, line of duty, so LOD for foot on left foot while in service. Can I file for both feet? You can file for both. You're going to do an aggravated claim. Now, your left foot is a better argument, but that doesn't mean your right foot hasn't gotten worse. And so whatever caused your left foot to be more flat and not asymptomatic, you probably have the same effect on your right foot. So I would just submit the claim of aggravation. Okay, you can do it online or through VSL. All right, Eddie says, okay, I'll get down to all these. I'll get down to all these. thank you for joining the stream, impromptu stream, everyone. I'm not expecting much here. I'm just kind of I'm trying to knock out 2 birds in 1 stone because I have some video editing to do. I've been super busy this week with work, my real job, and I figured I'd show on stream, answer some questions, and do some editing. Next Level Cash, what's up? How's it going? USMC Big B, what's up? How's it going? Okay, Eddie E says, if my original back rating is 20% and it's labeled as lower back pain, am I able to change it to lumbar strain? That answer is no. And use DDD, lumbar stenosis, and radiculopathy for both legs as secondary. So you can claim other back conditions and or put in for an increase. And so if your degenerative disc disease decreases your range of motion more than what 20% is rated for, then absolutely submit that claim. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. As far as your radiculopathy, those can be secondaries. And 2 different claims, right? So radiculopathy left lower extremity and radiculopathy right lower extremity. Next Level Cash, what's up, dude? Appreciate it. LOD has diagnosis for both flat feet. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You should be good, Moises. USMC Big B, what's up? How's it going? Angela, yep, got it. This is the comment that made me realize that I was a raging idiot. Okay, I am going to grab a drink. I will get back and answer all of these questions, all right? So if you don't have a drink, it is 9:30 for me right now on the East Coast. I'm going to grab a nice drink. I'll be right back. I'll answer everyone's questions. Give me like 2 minutes. All right, I'm back. Got my cup here. Okay. Todd Corley, welcome to the stream. Appreciate it. Jody, Jonesy, Lee, Jody again, Dan, John, LG, Oogle. I'll get to everyone's questions. Let me pour this drink and we'll start, man. We'll start. And hopefully the stream chills out a bit so I get some editing done. If not, whatever, I'm down to, I have to do this off the camera or else YouTube will get mad at me. But, oh yeah. Jody, thank you for everything that you do. Your comments, everyone's comments and likes, man, really help me out. Jody, you always comment. I appreciate that. I see it every single time. I want you to know that. Okay, let's look at Josie, 6445. I'm not PACT Act. Okay. Let's ignore that one over there. But I've been suffering from chronic fatigue for some years now. Diagnosed with OSP CPAP. With hypersomnia and prescribed. Yep. All right. How do I get diagnosis for CF if VA docs refuse? Well, a good way to do that would be through private insurance. I'm not sure if that's an option for you or not. That'd be one way. Another way is just to keep complaining. No matter what you do, keep on complaining about your symptoms. Get diagnosed. Now, it doesn't mean you can't submit the claim. It seems like you have complaints already. So if you think that your complaints are service connected, I would absolutely submit that claim. I will say based on this right here, your evidence seems to be a bit weak. That doesn't mean that it is, but just from this comment, that's what I see. That doesn't mean you can't submit that claim. You absolutely can. The CMP examiner will do the rest, assuming you get an exam from that. Okay, guys. Let's see. What if I have DBQ for HAD? Jody, give me some context to that. I don't see a previous comment from you. Oh, okay. You can email me. Yep, please do. Refuse to diagnose all blood work. Yep. Okay. Oli, appreciate all your hard work. I wish I could have found you sooner. Hey, you found me now. Right. I appreciate that. I'm here. I'm here now. Do you need a Nexus letter for all secondary claims? The answer is no, Dan. Generally speaking, and I'm being very, very general here, okay? You don't need a Nexus for any claim. You don't need a private independent medical opinion for any claim, I should say. But generally speaking, you'll see them shine in appeals and in secondary claims. And the secondaries would be, again, general things you can't x-ray. So like mental health secondary to degenerative disc disease in your lower back, right? Migraine secondary to tinnitus, things of that nature. Doesn't mean that you have to have one. Absolutely not. In fact, you might want to try that claim without it. And if you've been denied, then go down that road. Now, if you have the money and you really don't care, you can absolutely submit it as a fully developed claim, and that's the route you want to go to. John Sullivan says, just diagnosed with bradycardia from having sleep apnea. Can that give a higher rating than OSA with CPAP? Let's go check that out, actually. You know what? Bradycardia. ICD-10, a slow heartbeat. I don't know what. Well, I guess that would be under the heart. VA disability. The heart, the bloodstream, it's not a disability. It's a medical finding subject to compensation. Here, I'll show you what I'm looking at just so you know I'm not crazy. Share this tab. Here's what I'm looking at. Based off of ECFR, right here, asymptomatic is a medical finding, not a disability. What about not asymptomatic? Sinus, where your heartbeat starts, pacemaker, sinus pause, sinus arrest. That's a stupid site. We're not going to go to that. That's a stupid site. We're not going to go to that. Healing pattern. Heart disease. Okay, maybe. Brady in here? No. I don't know, man. I really don't know. I don't think. Well, to answer your question isn't can it be rated? To answer your question, I don't think that would be roped in with sleep apnea. I don't think so. It could be just a condition of the heart, assuming you have a diagnosis, it's chronic, and you're able to get that rated. Jody, how do you donate? I always feel weird when this happens. I think this is a monetized stream until YouTube demonetizes it. But there's a super chat function at the bottom there, completely optional. You don't have to. And everything I do is for free anyways, and that's kind of how I roll. Wife is texting me. That's kind of how I roll. But if you want to support the channel, I do have a Patreon. Now, if you donate to the Patreon, you don't get any VA disability help at all. It's just supporting the channel. I want to make that very, very clear because I'm really, really, really trying to base this on everything I do is free. But I do have a Patreon. You know what? I will go ahead and link that. It's new. On my Patreon, I share more personal stuff. Here, you know what? I will let y'all see it. I share more personal stuff about my disability and what that looks like. That's my daughter there. I talk about, missing moments for disability, nerve damage, talk about my son's birthday, things like that, range therapy. Here's some mental health stuff. So the Patreon is really, there's no VA disability stuff on that at all. But if you want to, go ahead. I need to share that. I don't know how to do that. But I'll go ahead and put that down in the chat. Okay, everything I do is free though, so don't sweat that. Okay, let's get back to answering questions now. Bro Clay, what up? Would like to claim IBS. Recently had a colonoscopy. Complaints, giving stool softeners for my rack. Been working on statement. Any advice? Yeah, you don't need advice. My advice would actually be submit the intent to file. And if it sounds like you have all the evidence before August 9th, well, on August 9th, before August 10th, and that's it. Submit that claim, send it off, call it a day. Defund the VA. If that happens, our VA disability will not be good. I get the sentiment though. Oogie Boogie. I like that name. All right. Andrew Oldfield says, I believe I have a unique circumstance that many people don't have. Would you like to discuss it with you? If you do personal calls, you can email me. I've actually been going back and forth with one-on-ones. That takes the most of my time. I just started a master's program too. It's been kicking my cheese. But I am still doing one-on-ones, just not as often. If you want one, it's probably going to be a minute. But you can absolutely send me an email. We can go back and forth on email, and go from there. Can I submit pes planus and plantar fasciitis at the same time? Absolutely. The bigger question, AF vet, Air Force vet, I assume, is what's the in-service event? Do you have it? I'd upload that with your claim. Do you have a current diagnosis? I'd upload those with your claim. Is there a logical next? Do you believe it's service connected? Can you define nice drink? Yeah, nice drink. Black Label, Johnny Walker. That's my go-to. Nice chill drink here. I actually don't drink as much as I used to. Thank God. I've definitely relaxed and chilled since then. First donation. Look at that. Angela, thank you very much. I appreciate it. All donations from the stream go right back to the channel. Helps me pay for StreamYard, Google Meet, stuff like that. I definitely appreciate it. Angela, let me see if you have any questions. And if you do, I am here. Matt Masters Writer here. Yeah. Let me check for Angela real quick. I love you too. Thank you very much. I'll drink to that. Thank you. Okay. Oh, here we go. I have so much anxiety, but I really want to talk to you, Clay. You're the only person that's really for real veterans. Hey, Angela, I know we've emailed back and forth. Respond again, okay? I'll star it, and then I'll get on this for you. Absolutely. I appreciate that though. That's definitely heartwarming to me. And I definitely appreciate that. Another donation from Oli. Have a supplemental claim and a fully developed claim submitted. Will they rate those both at the same time? No. If I'm a betting man, that answer is going to be no, because your fully developed claim ideally should be done first, and your supplemental should be done second. Now, does that mean they could be? Yes, they absolutely could by chance. But as per, if I'm looking at the evidence based on what you said here, that answer is going to be no. Your FTC should be rated first and then your supplemental, assuming they give you the decision for your FTC and defer your supplemental. Okay, let me go back to the top here, and I don't want to make sure I miss no one. There shouldn't be too many people on the stream tonight. It is pretty late, so we'll see. Is the multi-undiagnosed chronic illness, PACT Act, what about VET, PFAS for chronic? So it's a TARA thing, and TARA is the one thing that I really don't feel confident as far as I understand it. I think that's one of the most common misconceptions of and mysteries of the VA is TARA. But I do know it's going to be under that, not specifically PACT Act, okay? But you're all right. MUMCI about vet PFAS. So it depends, man. I don't know enough to talk about that. What I will do is actually take a picture of this. I'll send it to a friend that does know the answer. We'll just keep it at that. And then I'll get back to you. I'll absolutely get back to you. Okay. Nice drink. Thank you. Yeah, definitely my favorite. It's my go-to chill drink. Hello, I contacted Doc. Okay, that's awesome. June 15th, and he put me in his wait list. I hope I am in his list. Haven't heard from him. Yeah, if you're on his list, he'll get to you. Okay. I don't know where he's at on his list. I don't know how long that looks like. It's not going to be too long. He's actually stopped taking new intakes. Okay, so he's really focusing his time on who is already in that system. And so my advice to you, Emmy, would be to make sure you have that intent to file and then continue to gather evidence. And I promise he will reach out. Okay. That's the downside of being one of the best board certified psychiatrists out there for medical opinions and DBQs. Is everyone wants you. Thomas Keys. Hey, what's up? Welcome back to another stream. I definitely remember you. Appreciate it. Does the bilateral factor move the needle much? Let's check it out. I'll show you exactly how much it does. Let's see. Which tab am I sharing right now? This one. Okay. That's my son shooting his P22. All right. Does pot and VA calculator. Okay. Let's say you got 70% for mental health, 50% for sleep apnea, 30% for IBS, and 20% for lower back pain. That's what we got. So let's say you have a lumbar strain. So let's say you have left leg 10, right leg 10. You can see that 92 became 94 and it's at a bilateral factor of 1.9. Let's take away the IBS. Now we have a hard 90 at 1.9. Let's do another left leg 10, right leg 10, so like your knees. So now you have a 3.4 of 93. And so that's really where you'll see the bilateral factors come into play. I'm trying to make it to where it's 90 flat. 30. Okay. Not quite. Let's say your radiculopathy is 20%. I think that would do it. Left leg 20, right leg 20. It does. Okay. Let's make this to 90. So generally at 90%, if you get a 50, it'll be 100. We get that, right? But because you have such a high bilateral factor, and this is just left knee, right knee at 10%, right here, then this is left leg, right leg radiculopathy at 20%. So we know 50% gets us to 100 from 90. But with a bilateral factor, you can see that 30% almost does. Okay, almost. Let's take that away. And so now it's 40%. And so, yes, bilateral factors do matter. The more you have, the better. It has to be both sides. But as you can see, that bilateral factor knocked off 10%. So the answer is yes. but you have to have a few of them for it to actually matter. Okay, Tia Moore, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Welcome back. How long does it take to get service treatment records? Forever, 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 forever. Unless you're leaving the military, generally easy there. If you're requesting your C file, it's going to take about 6 to 9 months. I've heard of it being 4 months in some cases, but generally it's going to be 6 to 9. Savias69 says, I found a doctor's note in my C file that states lower back pain and was put on light duty. Okay. Is that enough to service connect my 5 herniated discs and DDD? If that doctor's note that put you on light duty, which I'm assuming is active duty, obviously, because you're on light duty, that's enough for the in-service event. You still need a current diagnosis, which I assume you have because you mentioned herniated disc and DDD. And so I think that claim's pretty solid. Without a Nexus, I think a CMP examiner can make that conclusion. Now, the one question I have is how long have you been out of service for? Because if that's 20 years, that's a different answer. If it's a few years, 5 years, I wouldn't sweat it that much. Dev Gokul, what's up? Clay, I sent you an email today and would like to discuss my disability claim and decision letter further with you. All right. I don't want to show you how many emails I have. I'll just log on real quick. I have, let me see, 139 emails. Okay. Now I answer about 20 to 30 a day, sometimes more. But I will get to your email. I promise. Okay. USMC Big B, in fact, yours is next in my queue. And so we'll cross that bridge and he understands what I'm talking about there. Wanda Davis says, can I claim diabetes type 2 secondary to hypertension? You absolutely can. I'm not sure if it's common. I'm not too sure on diabetes. Let's go take a look, actually. Diabetes, common secondary to hypertension. It makes sense. Are common. Yeah, they're very common, twice as frequent. Okay. I think it's a very logical claim. I would absolutely go for it. Gus Jimenez. CNP last week for neck, lower back, ankles, right hip. NP was pushing me forward and measured me sitting down. Felt like it was an improper exam. Have other claims pending adjudication. Your thoughts? I would need to know a ton more about the CNP exams. How much further were they pushing you? That is a red flag to start. But I want to know the context of that. Were they like shoving you down? Or were they just trying to measure your pain if you did go a little further, I guess would be the best way to say it. Now, they are an NP, okay? You can, assuming you're denied for the Nexus, you know what you have to do for that. But yeah, I would need way more context on that. But my thoughts, I wouldn't sweat it too hard, okay? Tons and tons of times, veterans have thought CMP exams went really bad, when in fact, smooth sailing. I'm going to have a sip with you, brother. Definitely need it. Hey, yeah. If you're having a sip of whatever it is you want to drink, put it in the chat. I'm drinking Johnny Walker Black Label. Just a chill drink. Probably have 1 or 2 tonight. Nothing crazy. I have decreased my drinking a lot. Do a lot of healthcare, man. Tons and tons of counseling. We won't get into that, though. That's on my Patreon if you want to know my mental health journey. All right. And those of you on the stream, I'd like to share my plans with you. P-High Marine, I know I butchered that probably. If I was denied migraine secondary to tinnitus, can I refile secondary to PTSD? You can. The question is, does your PTSD cause your migraines? That's the question. Does your PTSD cause migraines? You can get it rated. You might want to look into a medical opinion for that. And to be honest with you, for migraines, unless you have prostrating migraines and you can prove at least 30%, that may not be something you want to do. If it's a 0% rating or a 10%, it might not be worth it to go down that route. But you can absolutely file secondary PTSD if you'd like. for sure. Okay. Hebrew Hotline, I'll get back to you. So my plans for the channel, I want to let y'all know. Impromptu stream, I have no plan here tonight. But since we're just shooting the stuff here, I want to start interviewing people. And so one of my friends is going through CRSC right now, combat related special compensation. I'm helping him through that process. He was med boarded. I'm going to interview him and talk about med board specifically and his experience in Peblos and all that stuff. One of my other friends quit his full-time job and he was making over 6 figures, or he was making 6 figures. Sorry. He quit his job to do full-time social media. I'll be interviewing him. He's a Marine veteran as well. And then there's some other Silky Hike coordinators I'm looking into interviewing and just talking like a podcast format, but make it VA disability specific. And then one of my friends is a stand-up comedian who's absolutely hilarious. He's in the description, named Mike Connell. I'm going to try to interview him and just get his VA disability journey as well. And so I'll be branching out a little bit. Now, my focus is always going to be VA disability content. I have a video. I'm supposed to be editing it right now, but I'm busy answering questions, which I'm completely okay with. I'm quickly learning if I want to do anything, not to stream when I'm doing it. But yeah, that's the plans for the channel, man. All right. Hebrew Hotline says, my CMP examiner labeled me total and occupational and social impairment for anxiety. But there's no medical nexus info on the DBQ. Can I still be service connected? Yeah, so I assume you haven't received your decision yet from your CMP examiner. Now, if they really did put you total, like 100%, basically is what you're saying, depending on what mental health, you said that's for anxiety. Yeah, it seems like it's going to be favorable just based on a lot of assumptions and what you have here. I wouldn't sweat it. Now, I understand you have severe anxiety and that doesn't help you. But breathe, let the VA process take control, and just ride it out would be my advice. Mo Alayi, sorry, butchered that, is bilateral plantar fasciitis considered a bilateral factor? How do you know? Yes, it will literally say bilateral, okay? You'll see like bilateral plantar, bilateral pes planus at 50%. That answers yes. Angela, we've read this before, but I want to read it again, okay? Have so much anxiety, but I really want to talk to you, Clay. You're the only person that is real, very real for veterans. I appreciate that. I try to be, seriously. I don't try to clickbait as much, you know. You'll see a lot of YouTubers out there that have, you know, here's how you can get 80% for your back rating, or here's how you can guarantee PTSD. And it's just not true. In my opinion, it's stirring the pot even more. So I try to be as genuine and real as possible. You'd be surprised at how many meetings I have, and I just tell veterans, look, your evidence is weak, man. This is a weak claim. You can claim it if you want, but this is not going to work. And sometimes you have to be told no, or at least told how to get the evidence, okay, and not fudge it. Kind of went off on a tangent there, but I appreciate that, Angela. Thank you very much. I try my absolute best. And everything I do is free. So that's another thing. A lot of people have talked about emailing me. Everything I do is free. And so if you email me, I will get back to you. I promise. Just know that my email is absolutely insane. Okay, I was diagnosed in my active duty records. That's good news. This is great news, okay? But need a current diagnosis to file. You're correct. Current within 1 year. If your PCP prescribes you medication but doesn't, yes. That answer is yes. It's not a formal diagnosis, okay? Now, they may have gave you an SCT code, which that would be. They might not have told you that. And you'll see that in your blue button report, SCT. It's kind of how the VA gives diagnosis. But you have complaints, you're severe enough to rate medication, you can absolutely submit that claim, and you have the in-service event. So solid. When I say solid, I mean solid, and that's assuming you're not submitting a Nexus, okay? I think depending on what the claim is and what time frame can go by or what time you left service, there's a logical conclusion that that service is connected generally. What is a provisional decision? I'm assuming you're talking about appeals right now. I want to get you the exact. Yeah, so this is weird. Based on all evidence provided to date, the veteran claimed on their behalf of the VA. Okay, and so basically you provided evidence. Maybe you gave them your service treatment records, and yeah, that's pretty much it. It's you giving evidence to the VA. Let's back up. You left service. You submitted your STRs yourself to the VA. The VA is still going to go get your STRs themselves, especially if you just left service. But that would be an example of provisional decisions. It just means that you're gonna have to have an exam to complete that claim. Don't sweat that at all. I'm gonna come back to this comment all the time, Angela. Thank you. Gavin, what's wild is I filed for CFS, okay? Went to a CMP exam, was awarded 60. Meanwhile, I have a bunch of shoulder and neck conditions in my military records, and it's been denied from the Guard. I just got a Nexus for my private of linking my neck and shoulders to my service TMJ. Yeah, that's good, especially with your in-service events, even on a secondary. It's weird. I would like to see those decision letters, actually. You have the in-service events. Now, the Guard, this is not factual data. This is just from what I've seen of looking at hundreds of veterans, okay? Looking at Guard and reservists, they generally have a harder time service connecting things, especially when there's large breaks in service and there's no LODs. There's no factual data to that. That's just what I've seen as a whole. Moises says, are CMP examiners able to see your personal statements? I went to CMP exam for TBI migraines, lots of 15 minutes for everything. Yeah. So Moises, that answer is CMP examiners can see what the VA gives them. And so if the VA did give them your personal statement, which to be honest with you is unlikely, in my opinion, they probably did not see it. Now, depending on what your evidence was like, the VA may have just said, hey, can you look for these things? Can you look for 1, 2, 3, X, Y, Z? We already have the rest. That could have been a thing too. It just depends. Not every CMP exam is going to result in a completed DBQ. It's just what the VA requests of that exam, and what the VA request is based off of your evidence. Railroad Man just got back from bilateral DBQ. I assume you mean CMP exam today. Examiner put down functional loss with prolonged standing and severe pain with weight bearing. Also got a meeting with my lawyer about tort one-on-one soon, bro. Yeah. Tort. Are you the South Carolina dude? Let me know if you are. Okay, I think you are. I want to know if you're the South Carolina guy. I think you are. Okay. Gavin just had GERD CMP over the phone. Asked me 2 questions. When did symptoms start? What are your symptoms? Ending the ad. Okay, bye. Yeah. That is a bit weird. I'm assuming you had the diagnosis of GERD, and there's some evidence within your medical records, and so they just wanted the VA wanted to find some clarification on those things. It looks like I would actually say favorable. It just depends on what your evidence was. Evidence is king. If you think I'm stupid and you think this show sucks, whatever, listen to this, okay? Medical evidence is absolute king. You cannot go wrong with medical evidence. All right, Patreon down below, hit it up. Okay, what are some good secondary conditions to knee claims? Well, knees could cause nerve damage maybe in your lower leg to foot. Your knees, depending on how severe they are, could cause lower back conditions. One veteran I worked with had very severe knee conditions. He was able to link obesity to his knees legitimately. And his obesity then caused his sleep apnea, which he was service connected for, and then caused hypertension, which he was service connected for. And so you have those two knees with obesity intermediate step to sleep apnea to hypertension. And so, yeah, foot conditions, usually it goes up. So knees could affect your feet. They could affect your lower back. And then obviously the obesity route. It just depends on how severe we're talking about. If you got like a 10% knee strain and you're fine, is what it is. Master's writer here. Yeah, man, I've been working on it, dude. Just started my master's. It's going. I don't know how I'm married. I work full time. I do YouTube. I have 3 kids. And if you were here in my last impromptu stream, I revealed that I was having a 4th child. My wife wasn't able to get pregnant, wasn't supposed to be able to get pregnant again. Turns out that was a lie because she is pregnant again. Oh, yeah. Orange Remediation, dude, thank you very much. You donated many, many, many times on this channel. I appreciate that, brother. I see you all the time. Oh, yeah. Vet Advocate, there's actually a question. If you're still here, there's actually a question I wanted to ask you because I don't know. Let me get back to it. Where is this at? Here it is. Vet Advocate. Is the MUCMI is in the PACT Act? What about Vet PFAS for Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis? Please help. Vet Advocate, if you're out there, we need you. We need you, Obi-Wan. Okay. Red Bush, I love your name. I think it's hilarious. Hey, man, love what you do. I love you too. Thanks for the community. I have been service connected with IVDS at 40%, bilateral radiculopathy at 10, but was not made as a secondary. It doesn't matter if it is or if it's not. You have it. And so I'm pretty sure you're saying you have a 40% lower back rating, and you have radiculopathy 10% in each leg. It probably says like 10% bilateral sciatica or something like that. It doesn't matter. Laughing Guy, still can't get both SMC and 100%. Rated at PNT and SMCS. You answered my email about it, but still can't get it. Need help. Yeah. Send me another email. I'll get to it. My email is absolutely insane right now. I submitted the FTC about a month before the submittal. They kicked part of my claim back, and I had to submit on a different 0995. Yeah, so generally speaking, if a claim's been denied, even though you're going to claim it secondary, it's actually a supplemental. I'm assuming that's what happened. Just depends. Please clarify 55-year rule reexamination. Yeah, you know what? I will show you what the internet says about it. Okay. To be very straightforward here, and YouTube complicates this for no reason, I'll give you the real answer. If you're 55, you ain't got nothing to worry about. Just relax. Okay, take a breath, relax. You'll be okay. Year rule. We want the VA's answer on this. We don't want some wild VA claims lawyer LLC. VA claims lawyer. Where is the? Oh, come on! Don't do this to me, VA. Here it is. Protected ratings. Let's just look up 55. Okay. What is that? Reexamination? Re-examination VA. I forgot the freaking code. There it is. Here it is. Read this right here. In cases of veterans over 55 years of age, except under unusual circumstances, no periodic future examinations will be requested. And so basically, if I was to dumb that down, you're 55 and up, you're fine. Okay. Now, unless you have like cancer and your cancer is rated at 100%, and then you're in remission or it heals, that will be reduced. But other than that, you are absolutely A-okay. Holy, yeah, is that exactly what happened? Yeah, so let's say you submit migraines, that's denied. If you want to submit migraine secondary to tinnitus, it's going to be a supplemental claim, although it's secondary, if that makes sense. So it's a new claim, but it's an appeal. Laughing guy, you the man. I appreciate it very, very much. Let me go back to laughing guy. Okay. Oh yeah, there we go. Thank you. Appreciate that. My husband has 100 days left. We just started his BDD. We're just a little bit confused on how the bilateral radiculopathy factor is implemented with chronic back pain. Yeah, don't be. Okay. I will actually, you know what? It's an impromptu live stream. We ain't got no plans right now. We're just kind of hanging out. I will show you exactly what that looks like. You said how it's factored in, right? One, it doesn't matter. Bilateral radiculopathy factors implemented with chronic back pain. Okay, as far as percentage-wise, important VA disability calculator. Let's say your back's at 20%, and you get a left leg 20, right leg 20. That's how it is. It'll give you a bilateral factor of 3.6, increasing your rating. That would be, so it's at 52. It was going to be 49. And so you got an extra 3% just based on the bilateral factor. That's how it's factored in. As far as I want to make sure I answer your question completely. So with chronic back pain, something's happening down there, whether it's like muscle spasms, degenerative disc disease, degenerative arthritis. There's tons of back conditions. But it's pinching your his sciatica nerve, which is causing nerve damage, probably in both legs. And what that feels like is your legs go to sleep, they tingle, sometimes they're in serious pain. And what that exam's going to look like, what it could look like, one, x-rays. Two, the examiner will get the rubber triangle thing, kind of, and they'll hit your knee, okay, like that. And then if your leg reacts because it's nerves, that's a telltale sign. Now, if you have severe radiculopathy and they hit that knee, ain't nothing going to happen. All right. And so I think that answered your question. Let me scroll down and see if Vet Advocate answered that question for us, because he's the man. Yep, there we go. That was the answer I also gave. I am glad that you said that, because I was actually a little worried there. Yes, I know it's Terra. That's not something I really understand like I should, but I do know it's a part of Terra. Okay, thank you. Appreciate that, Vet Advocate. Okay. CMP for MH next week. My sister wrote a statement but didn't include verbiage directing connecting symptoms to service. Will it still fly? Yeah, Lucy. So first, absolutely not needed from your sister or anyone else to write a burden of proof statement, or your symptoms connecting to service, right? Your sister, I'm assuming, is not a medical doctor. And even if they did say something like that, it wouldn't matter anyways. Now, I'm assuming the reason why you see that is because some people on the YouTubes will say personal statements are the end all be all medical evidence, and that's not the case at all. Okay. If there was a totem pole of important medical evidence, statements aren't even on there. All right. in my humble opinion. Okay, thank you for that. I'll definitely look into that. All right. I'm wondering if you can be rated for radiculopathy and fibro. Yeah, you can, absolutely. I actually know, I know at least one, maybe two, that are. I'm taking a picture of this one. Everyone should take a picture of this one. My wife sent me another. Dude, leave me alone. I say that in a very nice way. Okay. I've been waiting over 2 years for my C file. That's weird. Okay. I'd probably be making some calls. Generally, it's 6 to 9 months, 9 being on the high end. I have seen someone get it in 4 months. That it was an outlier. Okay. It's usually 6. Oh, Lee, I've been waiting 7 months. Yeah. Be sure to like the live. Ooh, yes, please. Also, I got something new that I want to try here. Let me see if I can upload it. Would it be an overlay? Let's see. I just bought this thing from Fiverr. It's like $5. I will see if it works. And the file is too large. That sucks. Bummer. Bummer. Let me see if I can pull it up. I don't even know how to do that now. Transparent video. Oh, okay. Hold on. Bear with me here. I have to share my whole screen. Entire screen. All right, we're getting somewhere. I think it's sharing. It probably looks disgusting right now. Look at this bad boy right here, dude. Now, somehow I have to figure out computer jujitsu to get this thing to be able to upload it somehow, some way. But I think it's pretty cool. Okay, back to regular scheduled programming here. Let's get back to my normal shared screen so you don't see anything I don't want you to. Okay. Back to the comments. All right. Hire lawyer. Daryl Ellis. I have 10% ratings for left and right shin splints. Yeah, that's also a bilateral factor. Shin splints is not a common one you see. How it's rated, it goes into treatment. It's like prolonged treatment. It's very weird. Ron Duncan with the $5 donation. I appreciate it. Absolutely. Definitely appreciate that. Let me see if you have anything you want to ask. Oh yeah, reintroduced. I'm gonna have to look into that. Okay, that's funny. My bad. Okay. Ron Duncan says just received 100% PNT. 53 years old. Should I be? No. The answer is no times 10,000. Okay, so just say no to yourself about 900 or 9,990 times. That answer is no. I don't care what people on YouTube tell you. Okay, that answer is no. You're absolutely fine. Don't worry about it. Okay. YouTube phenomenon, right? Yeah, I want to put it on StreamYard. I just got the thing. I just downloaded it. The file's too large. I'll have to figure out how to shrink it somehow. I don't know where I left off at. Gavin, wondering if be right. Yes, we answered that. We answered that. Here we go. Ed Cole. Do you know any instances of a lawyer making a claim worse? I mean, the worst thing you can do is get denied. Okay. And I'm not going to dig on accredited lawyers. If I'm going to dig on anyone, I think everyone here knows who that person's going to be or who that entity is going to be. It's not going to be lawyers. Am I a big fan? That answer is also no. But I could at least get down. I could at least compromise there. Okay. I still think you can do your claims on your own or through a VSO. Okay. Storm Vet, about 3 months ago, filed for an increase for migraines, updated log. Prior discussion a while back, went to check status VA, nothing shows anything. Why? You mean in your ongoing claims? If you haven't received a decision, it should still be in your. If you log on VA app or va.gov or your app, go to claims. It should say migraines increase somewhere on there. You can also call the VA. It was 3 months ago. That could indicate that decision's been made and that process is going through right now. Could be. Crown. Oh yeah. Gavin, extremely common. Okay, very, very common. It just depends. A cab. All right. Cabernet, I believe. I'm not a wine person. Now my wife is a wine person. But she's pregnant, so she can't drink wine, which is hilarious. Pregnant with number 4. I'm about to have 4 kids. MK says I had in-service gastritis problems. Is this rateable or does this fall under IBS? I would say it's rateable. Definitely GI issues. And so would it fall under IBS without really looking into it? I'm going to say yes, probably. If it's within the GI tract, that answer is probably going to be yes. I'm sure there's a better answer out there for that. Thomas Keys, PTSD ratings seem to be all over the map. Buddy of mine has combat action badge and multiple deployments, and he got 30% for PTSD. You know, funny you say that. On my script, which I'm going to show you so you guys know I'm not giving you the baloney here. I just recorded a video today. I was actually going to edit it during this live stream. I don't think that's possible because every time I have an impromptu stream to chill, way more people join than I anticipated, which is good news. I'm glad that I have this problem. But now I'm not going to be able to stream and do what I want to do. I've learned that very quickly. But I'll show you what I'm talking about so you don't think I'm giving you a bunch of malarkey here. I'll share my screen again. Here we go. So this is a big one, man. Let's look at this. So this is 5 most common myths about VA disability claims. And funny you mention that because here we talk about combat veterans get more disability than veterans that don't see combat. I'm going to tell you this right here. And let me have some typos. I don't know what happened here. Listen to me. Combat has nothing to do with VA disability at all. This is what it is. That's that, man. That's that. Now, are people that experience combat more prone to have disability? Probably. Not just from combat, but the rigorous training they go through. So I was infantry for 5 years in the Marine Corps. I deployed multiple times to Afghanistan and Syria and more. So I think I can say what I'm about to say. Not everyone that has that experiences what would be considered a traumatic event comes back from a deployment experiencing depression and anxiety. It's not a 1-for-1. It's completely individual. I'm not a medical doctor or psychiatrist to talk about that, but I do know that some people suffer more than others. Some people don't suffer at all. Some people really embrace it. Okay, those are the cuckoo ones. But yeah, it just depends, man. So I wouldn't get wrapped around combat. And I'm saying that as an infantryman in the Marine Corps with multiple deployments. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Mario, if you have a question, throw it down here, man. Throw it down here. Let's definitely answer it. I appreciate that. All donations go back to the channel. I am drinking Black Label, my drink of choice. Now, my drinking has seriously decreased this last year a lot, which is a good thing. I'm thankful for that. But tonight I'm having a few drinks. It's been a long week, man. And the week will continue tomorrow when I wake up for work. Okay, let's get back to where we were at, which was, we got the cab here. It's the combat one. Yeah, so back on PTSD for combat. You know, events affect other people differently. So I wouldn't say they're all over the map. Now, that doesn't go to say that he was underrated. Okay, I really don't know the situation or the context of that. That could also be a possibility. But the point I really wanted to make is combat has nothing to do with VA disability. Nothing. You know, a lot of times we'll see on Facebook groups, I have a combat deployment. This person never deployed and they're 100% P&T and they go to the gym. It's like, I don't think you understand what VA disability is for. But yeah, okay. NO says orgasm. Hey Clay, filed 6 things all at once as new. 5 of those are secondary to my cancer. Okay, I'm sorry to hear about that. That definitely sucks. Will they adjust that for me? I explained it in my personal statement. Adjust what for you? You filed 6 things as new. 5 of those are actually second. Oh, so you filed 6 direct claims and 5 of them are secondary. You know, to be honest with you, I would just call the VA and change and just express that you want those to be secondary claims, and leave it at that. I would not rely on a personal statement to answer your question. TDIU process, yeah, you submit the claim. It's longer than most claims, okay? And so there's tons of forms that go into it. There's analysis that goes into it. They're going to request you to reach back to your former employees. If you don't, or they don't answer, the VA will reach out to your former employees. Excuse me. You'll have a CMP exam, and they're really assessing the severity of your symptoms and if you can or cannot work. That's it in a nutshell. It's much more than that. How long does VES take to reach a decision once the physician submits? Yeah, so I believe it's 48 hours to whatever the requirement the VA gave them, whether that's fill a DBQ, give me a medical opinion or burden of proof statement. It's 48 hours, I believe, and that's for all CMP examiners. Don't quote me on that, but I believe it's 2 days. You could definitely call VES directly. If you have a problem with VES, I would call them and not the VA. But yeah, can you tell me about CRSC? I was med boarded. Yeah, so I am going to interview one of my friends who was med boarded recently this year. He's in the process of applying for CRSC. I'm helping him through that process. And so LG, for you and anyone else watching, stay tuned for that interview. It's actually a way I'm going to branch out. I'm going to change the background a little bit, do like a podcast vibe, but I'm going to keep it VA disability specific. He'll be the first guest I have on, hopefully sooner rather than later. Hopefully. What's up? How's it going? Hey, you back? Daryl Ellis. I have 10% ratings for left and right shin splints. Can I file secondary? You can. Okay. There's definitely nothing that says you can't. My question for you is, does your shin splints cause your knees and ankle conditions? It might be yes. Okay. But if that's the case, you're going to want medical evidence that suggests that. And then you're going to need a CMP examiner to get on board with that and also give that opinion. Now, you could also do the private medical opinion route. Personally, I wouldn't recommend that because generally speaking, you're going to see ankles and knees at 10%. Now, although that's a bilateral factor, it's still 10%. So if that's worth it to you, you might want to consider that an option if you're denied. Keyword there, keywords, if you're denied. Absolutely. Yes, it was. That answer is no. CMP examiners are not trained to say no, although it may seem like that. But yeah. I got you, Vet Advocate. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. Wanda Davis, I'm 90%, 94. Wanda, I just answered that. You're at 94%. Okay. You might want to look into just a 10 more percent, maybe, other than going to TDIU. Not that you can't go to TDIU, but you might want to look into it. Did you finish and hand in that paper? I did, Orange. I am complete on school as of right now. I got a few more things to do for my first master's class, but I did. What he's talking about, the last impromptu stream I did was actually for, I was going to do my paper at the same time and answer a few questions, but I always have about 100 viewers on, and they ask a lot of questions, kind of like today, but it's totally fine. I'm down for this. Hey, back. How's it going? How could having a motor vehicle accident impact a processing claim if you manifest new symptoms? Yeah, symptoms. Ooh, man. So this has happened once before. I talked to one veteran. Basically, your evidence prior to the accident is going to really become cream of the crop. And it's difficult. Yeah, that answer is yes. It's difficult. It's definitely not easy to say, let's say you have a claimant for lower back pain. You have evidence of lower back pain. You have service treatment records. You have the in-service event, current diagnosis. During that, you get in a car accident. Then you have your CMP exam. It's very, very difficult. They are going to take that into account, okay? That doesn't mean you won't be service connected. I'm just saying it's difficult. And I don't know. I would be out of pocket if I did speak on that, but it's definitely some doctor type stuff. Congrats. Yeah. Kid number 4, LG here, is having kid number 3. Congrats to you, LG. That's awesome. Oh, yeah. I saw that. Yeah, I had asked prior to reading that down there. Okay, let's catch up. Let's catch up on this. Also, get called today from Optum that I have an exam on my baby 9/30, and it's Sunday for your birthday. Sorry. I'm thinking it's for my radiculopathy for my elbow carpal tunnel. Yeah, it could be. Could be. I would expect exams. Okay, expect some nerve testing on your elbow there, as well as I have carpal tunnel service connected. You can't really see it that well, but there's a huge scar going down right here, and then there's a scar right here in my hand for carpal tunnel. It feels weird just touching it, and carpal tunnel will affect these 2 fingers here, in the cubital nerve, which runs along your funny bone, will affect these 3 fingers up here. And so for you, LG, if you have numbness in all of your fingers or parts of your hand, that's something you want to discuss, because those could potentially be related because they both come up through your arm. Thank you for coming to the stream. I appreciate it. Yeah, that's what I do. I answer questions on live. It helps me out. Just received P&T 53. We answered that. That answer is no, 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 no. Joel Merritt says, got my decision today. Congrats. Filed for increased connected bilateral radiculopathy with rate at 10 each. Even though symptoms have gotten much worse, was kept the same. What should I do next? So although your symptoms have gotten worse, does it meet the criteria for the 20% radiculopathy? What you're going to want to do is go to 38 CFR for radiculopathy and read the 20% criteria. Radiculopathy, 38 CFR, ECFR. Oh, come on. Yeah, you're going to look at 38 CFR and look at how that is rated under the leg. Okay, sorry. Chris Ray, if I currently have an attorney that had submitted a claim previously, but it was denied, if I remove them as a POA and submit supplemental claim, do they still get 20% of my back pay? Yeah, just in that relationship officially, okay? Don't submit the appeal until it's official, and then submit that. That includes the intent to file. Okay. CB, hey, just want to say, just got 100%. Now, finally, after a long fight, thanks so much. Dude, thank you very much. I'm pretty sure this is your first time commenting on the stream. Welcome. I'm glad you got 100%. I hope that you pay it forward. Tell veterans to come to the channel. We will help them out as best we can. All right, MK Ultravives. That PFAS Act is going to apply to Oki, specifically Campanson, and Kadena, with more bases being tested on Oki. I am going to look into that. I spent time in Okinawa, and it was boring. Okay. What do you want to oh, yeah, okay. Ron, maybe. Okay, thanks. Took me 5 months for my C file. Yep, absolutely. I see the there we go. That's the reason. You can see Big B. That's the reason. Rob R is using a TENS unit as treatment good to show continuity of symptoms. I don't even know what a TENS unit is, to be honest with you. Let's go look it up. I assume it's something to do with healthcare because that's what you're talking about. And I want to know if it's prescribed, okay, because that's different than over the counter. Now, you can still report that you're using it over the counter, but if it's prescribed, that would be dope as far as disability goes. Oh, it's electro. I had one of these for my wrist. If it's prescribed, which I hope it is, that answer is yes. Yeah, my National Guard service doctors just recorded my complaints, and the VA basically says they don't count. You might want to look into that a bit more. I know we were talking about that earlier, but it just depends there. When did you leave the Guard? Was that like 15 years ago? Because that's going to play a factor there. Okay, we're nearing the bottom, I think. Just got diagnosed with severe mixed sleep apnea. Okay. All right. That's good news for diagnosis, I guess. Let me know if there's a claim question in there. Darth Maul keeps getting the attention. Oh, yeah. Well, I have on my phone. I'll show you something cool. Big V. Pretty sure I get to your question. I also bought this stupid thing, but it's really cool. I like it. See? Okay, it hangs up on my left wall. Anyways, that has nothing to do with anything. I like Star Wars. Darth Maul is my favorite character of all time in any series ever. Okay, thank you for answering my questions. You're very welcome. Just one more question. My husband was diagnosed with a skin condition. Scars recently by by his PCM. Still unsure. Still unsure about what. Let me just make sure nothing's down. What's the rating criteria, diagnostic code for this? It'll be rated under the skin. I'll have to actually look into that specific condition. But how most skin conditions are rated is percentage of the body that's covered. So if you have like 50% of the body that's covered, that's obviously severe. Or if a cream heals it or makes it go away, most skin conditions are rated at 0% because there is that cream available for that. Already asthma, allergic rhinitis connected. Okay, I get that. Yeah, so you can do sleep apnea secondary to both of those. Now you have, what is it? Severe mixed sleep apnea. If you require CPAP, very, very common to have asthma and sleep apnea. They're commonly rated together. They can be rated separately, but you won't see that often. If your asthma is 60% or higher, I'd probably just leave it alone, to be honest with you. My 2 cents is combat vets have a tendency to understate their symptoms. That is a great point. I did not think about. Clay's correct. Yeah, thank you. But that is a great point. And it's a culture thing. And I'm speaking strictly from my experience of being in the infantry. And this goes for all veterans, but really in the infantry, you don't go to medical for anything. I'm serious. You're going to be that guy that misses a field op, that is ostracized by your peers, and the rest of the junior Marines in my case. It just wasn't a thing, man. It just was not a thing. I definitely agree with that. On the back end, though, going through BDD or filing claims within that first year for combat veterans, that actual combat veterans that don't have medical evidence, you're going to want to file within that BDD or first year window, especially if you're lacking in the medical evidence world, especially. You know what I would love to do, vet advocate, is go to bases around the world, around the states at least, and have like seminars for veteran or for service members that are 1 year out, and just talk to them about preparing to transition outside of like transition assistance program and stuff like that. Maybe I can do that one day. Do a nonprofit thing going on. Okay, getting late. Got to be up early. I also have to be up early, and I haven't edited my video, but I'm answering questions with y'all. I'm down for that. I already got tons of emails just from this live stream. Okay, which is good. My VA doctor diagnosed me for PTSD. How can I file for VA disability? Ram Gupta. Assuming that PTSD stressor is from service. There's tons of questions I have there, but we'll drop the questions for later date. To answer your question, I will link a video on literally how to submit that claim. Step-by-step process. Oh, excuse me. This Black Label's working on me right now. Let's see, where's it at? How to submit evidence, how to submit a VA disability claim. Link copied, link pasted. Bada bing, bada boom. There it goes. Okay. ME, if I have a diagnosis from both my VA and my private doctor, should I include them both in my personal and Nexus letters? Both are giving different medications. So I would caution adding anything to your Nexus letter, assuming you went out and got a private medical opinion. I'm kind of confused on what you're referring to there. In your personal statement, absolutely. And so a personal statement, and I'm going to put a video up on statements on Del K. Graham's channel this month. But for personal statements, what I would do is indicate any evidence that you have, especially from private. So if you have VA and private, diagnosis, and you're taking medications, I would reference those records, submit those records, do quick submit, and pretty much call that a day. Personal statements support the medical evidence. They don't become medical evidence. Yeah, congrats to LG. He's having a baby girl. That's number 3 for him. Keep messing around, you'll be at number 4. All right, JC. So in my decision letter, it acknowledged an in-service event, but missing a diagnosis. Okay. Would a diagnosis from a private doctor be enough? Yes, it would. Where I still need a Nexus. Also 1 month away from 1 year out. I'm going to say no based off of this comment specifically. Now, denied again, maybe. Okay. But submit a supplemental claim with your current diagnosis. I also have a video on how to submit supplemental claims. I would do that as soon as you can, because you're still within your 1 year window of service. And I'm going to link that for you at the bottom here. And I'm also going to link, so this is going to be supplemental for you. You want to, you're going to want, dang it, you're going to want to look that up. And then to upload evidence, your current diagnosis from private healthcare, you're going to want to watch this. Boom shakalaka. There you go. Okay. Maybe I missed something? I hope not. Was that Wanda? Was it that migraine question? I can't. I'm going up pretty high. I can't see it. Okay. Yep. Trying to think of an easy 10% to get you. Oh, yeah. I should have read that first. Yeah, absolutely. Pretty close, Wanda. She's at 94, looking at TDIU, which is still a viable route. Don't get me wrong. But 10% might be a little easier. Or an increase, right? A simple increase. Scrap Guy, hello, as always. Thank you for coming to the stream. Chris Ray, thanks, brother. Appreciate all you do. Thank you very much. You love Doki. I assume Okinawa back in the day was absolutely awesome. I was in Oki in 2014. We went to the Philippines. Lance Corporal Pemberton. You can Google him and have a fun night if you want. Are you serious? My wife is spoiling a show for me right now through a text. That's what just happened. But in the Philippines, Lance Corporal Pemberton murdered a Filipino while we were on Libo. And if you know anything about the Marine Corps, you know that we had hell to pay. And it's the entire unit's fault. And so that 6 months, 7 months became disastrous. Okinawa basically locked down. Not fun. I ended up going back to Oki in 2018 for a little bit, supporting some other stuff, doing some other stuff. That was fun. Dependency claim, PFN today, TDIU still holding. Hey, awesome. Looking forward to that TDIU, Orange. I know you're stressed because I'm stressed for you. So for backstory, Orange, one of the day one fans of this show, this channel. We've been going back and forth in email for about a year, man. And you know what? August 5th is my 1 year of this channel. And that comes up in 3 days. So 1 year. Let's look at my my stats here. 1 year, I'm at 12,222 subs. Still got 3 days to go. I don't know how many views I'm at. Let me see. Believe it or not, I'm not a tech guy at all. I'm still learning. I'm at 8,700 or 8,774 views. Yeah, I think I'm doing all right. I think I'm doing all right on YouTube. Okay. Anyways, that's rant. I got SMC as well. Thanks. Awesome. Congrats on that. I have a question I wanted to ask during the last live stream, and it involves whether or not the VA would reduce existing ratings based on possible new ratings. Generally speaking, no. Not how you phrase that like that. There's some mental health implications that could be rated within the first 2 years. Technically speaking, let's say you have lumbar strain. Let's say you have a lower back condition at 40%, and then years down the road you claim radiculopathy, and during that exam they examine your back. It could. Now that's disabilities, especially musculoskeletal, generally don't heal. Okay, and so how you ask that answer is no. But there's a technical answer there. Age becomes involved. How long have you had that disability for? Are we past 5 years? Are we past 10 years? What does that look like? Is it static? Okay. Thanks for the honest opinion. Just worried about if it would impact my claim. Got rear-ended at the worst time. Now I'm not sure I may be affecting. You know what? You actually might be the person I was referring to. It's difficult, man. Because how is the examiner going to differentiate your symptoms from the wreck that wasn't from service? And what I assume is they look at your evidence prior to the wreck, use that as a baseline, and then kind of play the takeaway game from your new evidence after the wreck. That's my assumption. Okay, I say that as some dude in my basement, not as a medical professional. If you're rated for PTSD and you've expressed depression symptoms during your CMP exam, you file, let's say, depression, would the VA rater be inclined to reduce your PTSD? No, not likely. You wouldn't want to file depression second. This is jacked up. You're not going to want to file depression secondary to tinnitus if you have PTSD. PTSD has depression and anxiety like properties, I guess would be the right word. The answer is no. Now, can you claim other mental health? Like, can you claim depression, anxiety, PTSD on top of each other? You can. It's not recommended. If you're at like 30% for mental health, you could claim more mental health conditions that you have a diagnosis for that bring you to the next criteria, so to speak. I don't think that's your case, though, if I can remember. But yeah. You're amazing. You're amazing. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. I am slow drinking this. You can have multiple. They'll just be roped together. It'll unspecified stressor disorder, MDD, GAD, PTSD, all kinds of stuff. Insomnia, TBI. What's good? Darth Maul is back. Thank you very much. I saw your email. I want to make sure I got to you because of your donation the other day, which I absolutely want to make sure that. Okay, you added me another. You gave me. I definitely remember now. I am going to leave this open, and I will answer you after the stream. I would hope whatever I answer stays private because it is going to be PII. Okay. Erod, can you be med boarded for? I think so. I'm not an expert on med boards. That's DoD specific. Okay. You can be med boarded for anything that causes you not to do your duties as a soldier, Marine, airman, whatever. That's the basis of being med boarded. You are in no condition to continue your occupation. Therefore, you have to be med boarded. So the answer is yes. The real answer is going to be talk to your medical provider. I'm in the middle of appeals. That sucks. I'm sorry to hear. I didn't do my research on how to file, being vulnerable. Yeah. Especially with mental stuff. Absolutely, Todd. Absolutely. I don't know what research you've done, but to get you started, you need 3 things: the in-service event, the current diagnosis, and the nexus. A nexus is linking your current diagnosis back to military service. So with that, that's the baseline. That's what you need for each claim. And so work on that. What is your in-service event looks like? Is it deployments? Is it a documented event? Is it complaints in your treatment records? Did you have a diagnosis in service? In service. Have you gotten a current diagnosis? Current meaning within 1 year. And then what does your nexus look like? Not that you have to get a medical opinion right now, but you have been denied, so you might want to at least consider it. But those are some things that are just going through your mind as you're filing VA disability. The usual suspect. No one wants to be labeled lame, sick, and lazy for going to sick call. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Okay, every time I think we're near the bottom, we're not. Every time. Okay. Got denied for sleep apnea. Service connected for allergic rhinitis. How doc link OSA to rhinitis as secondary? They can. Okay. You'd have to prove that your rhinitis causes your obstructive sleep apnea, but you can. There's some other correlating factors there, though, because I'm assuming your PACT Act, looking at rhinitis, and so breathing in heavy particulates is a part of is a correlating factor. Medication can be, weight gain can be, and then obviously your primary service-connected disabilities. I say primary; they're just service-connected disabilities, like rhinitis or respiratory disabilities. Same with mental health that adds stress to the body. Ari Blair, do you know much about ratings in relation to gallbladder? 30 CFR has ratings for non-symptomatic, mild, and severe gallbladder removal. It doesn't really make anything specific. I still experience abdominal pain. My main symptoms are IBS now. Yeah, one, IBS, yes, okay, to start off with. And to tell you what I do, when I have a question about disability that I can't find through 30 CFR, because you are right, it depends on how things are rated, and sometimes it can be difficult to figure out how the disability will be rated. Let me take this off here. I'll show you what I do is actually go to this subreddit. If you follow this channel, you know that this is the bomb diggity right here. What just happened? Okay. Oh, this. Okay, let me share my screen again. I'm going to do the entire screen because it's going to keep adding new tabs, new tabs, new tabs. Is that working? It's working. Disability compensation, master condition list. I'm looking here. And you said gallbladder. Let's go check it out. Gallbladder, it's in the G's. Whoever made this, which I don't understand enough about computers to do this, but I assume it was a pain in the butt cheeks. FG. Gallbladder. Look at that. I think you mentioned removal. I'm going to go back to my screen. It's going to be like Inception for y'all. After gallbladder removal. There you go. And so this is what I would do if I'm having trouble finding it on 38 CFR. Because you're right, it's kind of weird. And here we go. Removal of the gallbladder. Rated based on severity, symptoms, pain, not nausea. And here you go. Severe, mild, no issues. And looking at mild symptoms, it's telling you that it's pain and nausea. There we go. This is why veteran benefits is the absolute bomb diggity, period. I don't care who tells you what. You cannot go wrong with that subreddit, and I genuinely mean that, okay? That's not what I wanted. Here we go. Yeah, so you have pain and IBS, GI. Claim those. 95, 96. I was 3 and 4 years old. Just want to let you know that I have received my at-home sleep study today. Will this be enough to claim sleep apnea? It could be. I know you have a lot of service-connected disabilities. You just got out of service relatively too. But it could be. Or if I remember, you're rated at mild. I don't know. My email's going crazy right now. So if you're emailing me, I appreciate it. I'll get to it. We need to do August 5th celebration. Yeah, I'll probably do something. I'll tell you this just because whatever, I'm sharing my screen right now. There is another live stream I'm doing. Dumb. See, this is the thing. Okay, I'll talk about this. You don't need a paper trail for these VA claims. It's insinuating that you don't need medical evidence, which is dumb. I don't know why veterans tell other veterans dumb shit. I shouldn't cuss, but I think you get what I'm saying. Okay, here we go. Right here, look at this. Live Q&A. So I've had tons of veterans talk about they want a physician because, we talk about mental health a lot. I got a physician that's willing to talk VA disability with us. She's a naval surgeon, I believe. Surgeon in the Navy. Looking forward to Dr. Farley. That is August 17th. Okay. Back to regular scheduled programming. Average decision on TDIU claim that you've heard of. I want to say yes or no. Age isn't supposed to be a factor, but talking with some other VSOs, from what we have seen, and I'm not a VSO. I volunteered for a VSO, to be very clear. Talking to VSO reps, their consensus is, although age doesn't play a factor, it seems like it does. And so I want to know what your age is, okay? Now, technically, it does not. It just seems like it does. Just depends, man. Absolutely depends. Sergeant G55. Approved for mental health claim as, okay, disorder. Completed supplemental claim of disability was changed to presentive. Anxious went back to. And then the file date instead of the initial claim. Is this an error? Oh, okay. I see what's going on. Okay, let me see. Was the supplemental within 1 year? And if so, it shouldn't have changed, even if they changed because it's still under mental health umbrella, even if they changed the official claim, it doesn't make your depressive disorder go away. And so it should have went back there. You could HLR that and disagree with the effective date if you want to get a better, clear answer. Based on what you have here now, that's actually what I would recommend. Okay. I see that, Vid Advocate. Thank you very much. Okay. PSI. Hey, CivDiv. What up? Recently got 80%, 70 for anxiety, for mental health, 10 left knee, 10 right knee, 10 back, 10 from tinnitus, which came out to 80. They deny me for IBS and her hemorrhoids. Said it was chronic diarrhea due to anxiety and depression and is not service related, but the anxiety is service related. Any advice? Yeah, supplemental appeal. Based on what I see here, it's an easy supplemental. I want to know what your deployment history is, because looking at what you have, I could probably guess you've deployed to some PACT Act area. And that's just based off of what I've seen over and over again. But I would supplemental appeal that. Absolutely. Chronic diarrhea, though, is not IBS. It's just diarrhea. Okay. You could also backtrack a little bit. You could also get a diagnosis for IBS, get a colonoscopy, and then submit that with the supplemental appeal as well. Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it. Thank you, Florida. Appreciate it. I see that, vet advocate. Thank you very much. All right. I've been going to the VA since 2012. Concerning my flat feet and plantar, received shoes, custom insoles, and shots on both feet. How do I get this static? Yeah, so it's a musculoskeletal condition, and it's your feet, okay? When you're looking at like flat feet and plantars, how do you know it's not static? Do you have you gotten your C file and seen it? Because in my non-medical opinion, that's not going to heal at all. Especially if you've shown that the inserts and shots aren't making your conditions better, which I'm assuming. And you are the best. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Do accredited VSOs have access to your treatment records or CMP exam results? Yeah, so they'll have access to your C file. Whatever the VA used to make the decision on your claim, which is usually your treatment records and your CMP exams, that answer is yes. Now, they have to have VBMS access. Also, that doesn't mean that they can show you what's on VBMS. They're actually not supposed to. If they do, it's a courtesy, but they're not supposed to. They're also busy. Okay, they're also bogged down. TheCivDiv. Do you need a current diagnosis if you're being currently treated for the thing you were originally diagnosed for? If your treatment has been consistent, I'm going to say no. If you do submit that claim, the CMP examiner will diagnose you. Okay. But I wouldn't say it's like absolutely needed 100%. Because you showed that continuity of care and that condition is chronic. Especially for hypertension, that is actually 10% criteria looking at medication. Gus, I see that. Thank you very much for the donation here. Thanks, Clay. Thank you for your time. Thank you for all your due. Cheers. Hey, cheers to you. Appreciate it. Appreciate that. Yep, flight surgeon. Ooh. If you, yeah, because they want you to. That's a good one. I did not think about that. If you know her, feel free to give a shout. I'm assuming she's not crazy. I'm hoping because it's already planned. All right. Tracy, I want to remove my POA with the DAV, but when I emailed them, they told me I had to. Yeah, that's there's a form. There's a form to do this. You can call the VA, they'll give it to you. Here, you know what? I will just show you my Googling expertise here. That's not what I want to show you. VA form to get rid of power of attorney. Oh, it's just a statement. I thought there was an actual form. I guess it's just a personal statement. You can upload that. Well, let's look at what the VA has. Always go to the VA. Look, always go to the VA resource. You see all these boneheads on Google talking about whatever. Just go to just look at the VA. Okay. Okay. I don't think this is it. It looks okay. That's for healthcare. Yeah. So personal statement is what it seems to be. Submit the personal statement. You can upload that quick submit. I would definitely call maybe 2 days after quick submit, and just reiterate what exactly you want, Tracy. I thought that was a specific form. I think the POA is 4140 or 2122. I thought that was an opposite form. Okay. You can control F, type Gall, and pull it up. Oh, yeah. Oh, you mean for the Reddit thing. How long are the PACT Act claims taking the average Joe? So there's reported numbers on this. I'll actually just share the YouTube video to you on Del K. Graham's YouTube channel, which I also make videos for. If you don't follow them, please do help them out. Okay. I make videos on their channel, just a few, 3 per month, nothing crazy. I enjoy doing it and just trying to spread the love a little bit. But if you can help me out here, help them out. But that video I just put in the chat is going to look at the backlog numbers and PACT Act claims that have been awarded. And the VA Secretary talks a little more on that. It's a pretty quick video. Yeah, I know. Okay. Sleep apnea with obesity as intermediate step. Denied, even though 3 previous negative, last one positive, weight gain, 40 pounds. Examiner says coincidence, what to do next. Yeah, is your obesity recognized as an intermediate step, or did you just try to do that? It's very, very different. Is your obesity, quote unquote, service connected? And that's different because, let's say your knees, let's say your obesity is not recognized, then you just say your knees are causing your weight gain, which is causing sleep apnea. That's different than having your knees actually recognized or having your obesity recognized and then going from there. In short, this cracks me up. Oh, yeah. Okay, gallbladder removal, we may be eligible. Yeah, absolutely. Oregon, for sure. Laz Jinx says, currently in evidence gathering, submitted 3 buddy letters. Okay. Just noticed 3 of my letters were incorrectly signed at the bottom by the buddy. Should we submit? I think you're fine. Really don't, the sweatiness, the amount of stress and emphasis people put on lay statements and personal statements are absolutely insane. Say what you need to say, reference evidence, reference symptoms, talk about events that occurred if that's the route you're going. Sign it. It doesn't have to be perfect. For you, Laz, not a big deal. It's not. You could submit a personal statement on a piece of paper that's written. I would not recommend that. Okay. Everyone's handwriting sucks. I would type it out. If it's a small, minor mistakes, it's not a big issue. Make sure that your PII information is up there correctly. The statement's readable. Call it a day. What's easiest to win? 100% P&T or the Mega Millions? Definitely, if you're looking at stats, definitely P&T, but I'll take some Mega Millions. I don't play. If I did, that would be pretty cool. Okay. Just hit the 180-day mark. Should I get more appointments in before starting BDD or start now? Start now. You have 9, let's just call it 60 days just to be safe. We'll give you a 30-day buffer. But yeah, if you have the ability to go to medical and get seen within 2 months, 100% go do that. When people say get seen, think head to toe. So migraines, mental health, tinnitus, sinuses, rhinitis, dental issues, hearing loss, neck pain, shoulders, elbow, wrist, nerve damage in your arms, chest pain, upper back pain, lower back, hips, pelvis, kind of go head to toe down like that. Don't forget sleep apnea. And if any of those, I'm not saying get seen for all of those. What I'm saying is think about if any of those hurt, if you could get a current diagnosis. If that's the case, go get it. Sam Torres filed for tinnitus, and within a week it said that the decision was made, and a letter would be get to me within 10 days. Very strange. What does this mean? It means in 10 days, within 10 days. I mean, I don't want to sound like a douchebag, but the decision letter is on its way. Depending on how that went, it'll be yay or nay. Now, if you had a claim already open recently and then you filed tinnitus, the decision to be made was just roping it into your previous claim. I've seen that multiple times. That could be it. But if that's not you, then prepare for a decision. 50 for feet, but never saw any decision letters. That's static. Is there any? Yeah, LG. Relax. You have a 50% rating for a foot condition, flat feet, and I believe plantar. Yeah, plantar. Musculoskeletal. You're good. You're good. Don't sweat that. Of the things to sweat, that's not one of them. Oh, okay. Yeah. Awesome. Oh, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. I am excited for this as well. The issue I have, vet advocate, I would love your input on this. Is usually when I've reached out to multiple doctors before, and I try to do my best. So what is that? I try to do my best to kind of judge their character, because integrity means a lot when it comes to writing medical opinions. And if I don't feel comfortable, I don't do it. With this lady seems cool. I'm sure she is. Very bubbly, very energetic. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, integrity to me is a huge thing, especially when it comes to working with someone. And I'm not working with her, not yet at least, but that's the plan. And when you don't have started your BDD, how soon did you get your first checkup? Yeah, so whenever you submit that claim, Stefan, I believe the BDD fact sheet. You know what? I'll link that for you right now. It's 45 days from when you submit. You basically commit to the VA that you're going to attend your. I don't know what is happening, but I'm getting a lot of Spanish Google searches from the VA. I don't know why. Okay. This used to be a PDF. For some reason, it's not, but it's the same exact information. BDD fact sheet, 45 days. PSI. Thanks, Civ. Okay. FDNF. My deployment was South China Sea, as well as 2021. Think of getting an attorney for my appeal. Do you think that's the best option? I don't, actually. Let me go back up to what you had said, because I really don't think that's the best option for you. I thought you had a pretty clear-cut route there. Yeah, I would get a diagnosis for IBS and submit a supplemental appeal. I'm assuming you weren't diagnosed for IBS, okay? Feel free to send me the decision letter, redact the PII. There's probably no diagnosis there. Well, maybe, because they talked about chronic diarrhea. Yeah, you're probably missing a diagnosis, probably. Colonoscopy, supplemental appeal. Okay, where are we at? My lawyers filed a intent to file back in January. Was going to file another. But you know if you can have multiple? No, you cannot. If you do that, it will replace your January. And there's no reason to. It's August, so you got September, October, November, December, and January to the date before that date to file. There's no reason to do another one. You're good. And it's more than enough time to gather whatever evidence you need. Thank you. Appreciate it. It was during COVID, and it was on the last ship, Pacific Pac Fleet. Yeah, dude, that sucks, man. Especially in part of Pac Fleet. Have some time with 7th Fleet doing some cool things. Okay. OG, bro, just want to say thank you for nice stream. Thank you. I definitely appreciate that. This was random. I was actually supposed to be editing a video. That didn't happen. I think I'm at the bottom though, so I'm probably just gonna pull up my video and just start editing it, and we'll just watch me edit together if you want. I don't know, and I'll still answer questions as we go. How do you know if your claim is being evaluated for IU? When I call the VA about my claim, they always say it's waiting on something, but can't tell me what that something is. If you if you filed for TDIU, that's how you know. I'm not gonna say they won't just give it to you. But generally that's not the case. Okay. Nick, how can we get... Oh, I'll change the battery. Hold on. One of these days, I'll go to the camera store and buy a pluggable or power source for my camera. Thing is, it's in Arlington, Virginia. If you know Arlington, it's like a busy downtown area. It's not trying to mess with that, but I will at some point. Okay. How do we get the VA to update their criteria for asthma meds? You don't. The state requires use of steroids. Yeah. I hate to say this, but that's just not... that's good to know. Okay, awesome. That's not a thing. Okay. Vet advocate, thank you very much. I definitely appreciate that. That I did not know. Okay, thanks, TheCivDiv. Depression was causing the weight gain, which I claim sleep apnea secondary to going up for age. What is wrong with my throat? Okay, that's good. JSL, if I served in the 80s, how do I get my PTSD kicked to my service? Ooh. I did crash and rescue. I'm not sure how to prove what crashes I responded to. One crash killed someone famous. Yeah, so this is a hard question to answer. One, are you diagnosed? Two, if you're diagnosed, through that process, some memories will come up. Absolutely. If you have recurring thoughts, whatever that stressor is, I would really focus on that. You're going to want lay statements. This is when I would consider lay statements for real. Definitely a current diagnosis. And then any other evidence from service or from the 80s to now, so chronic and continuous is really going to be a factor here, of any sort of mental health indicators, like being arrested, right? That could be an indication to PTSD. So really think outside of the box there. JSL, I would work with in this case, I would work with Graham specifically and really sit down with someone, go over your stuff, look at it, and get down and dirty on this service connection. We're at the bottom, and his opinion won't change, so may get some results to believe. Okay, awesome. What camera do you use? Yeah, so I'm not a tech person at all. I'll tell you what I use. This is what I use. EOS Rebel T8i Canon. I don't know anything about this thing. My friend came here and set it up, and I haven't messed with the settings since. It just stays in my little ring light over there. I move it from this table to... There's a table over there I do for Del K Graham with the green screen. I am not a tech dude or savvy with editing or any of that. It amazes me that I've came this far. What I am good at is community building, I think. At least I try to be. I didn't file it previously, and it was added to my past claim in July. I assume you're talking about your decision. Oh, okay. You have to have Civ doc diagnosis. I also have orders assigning me to Edwards. Yeah, there you go. So that would be solid indicators. I definitely appreciate that, Will. Seriously, I appreciate that. Now, we're at the very, very bottom. I'm going to share my screen, and then let's just start editing. All right. Okay, PSI. So Vet Advocate said this right here. I'm going to read what you said first. We'll go back to that. Yeah, HLR. It sounds like a higher level review to me, based off of what Vet Advocate had said, and I would absolutely file an HLR. Higher level reviews are so easy to file. You can go right now. You can leave the stream, go right now to va.gov, and file your higher level review in like 4 minutes. Okay. Since we are on the topic of having no comments now, I'm going to share my screen. Now, this is where the boredom kicks in. It's 11:30. I have to go to sleep at some point, but I can at least get started on editing this. I'll at least probably just do the intro, maybe. You're going to see some hardcore nerves and anxiety when I do record, believe it or not. You'll see what I mean if you actually watch it. Oh, this I probably shouldn't show you. These are all my plans here. Whatever, you can check that out. Who cares? Who cares, ma? Instead of this, let's pull up this right here. Boom shakalaka. Look at that. And this is how I edit videos. You see that anxiety right there? I will say the same thing over and over and over again. My nerves kind of get choked up on my words here. Awesome, TheCivDiv. Appreciate your last question. Oh, I skipped. I'll go back to JSL. Cop Air Force, always on feet but never complain. Now dealing with plantar fasciitis, both feet never complain. Yeah, so what's the time frame on that? And I'm assuming you have no in-service events, so that's not off the bat. It's a shaky claim at best. Weight gain, PTSD, stress, occasional use medications to deal with. Yeah, claim it basically. Your evidence will speak for itself. I'm hoping you have evidence from whenever you left service to now. That's number one that I want to see. You have some sort of in-service event. It is a stressor. It has to be verified. I think you can do that. But yeah, this is going to be an uphill battle. I am taking a picture. Dude, Vet Advocate is out here just dropping bombs, okay? Dropping bombs. It is 11:30. I'm going to try and... I'm very happy for you. Absolutely. Absolutely. Very, very happy for you. Okay. Back to hearing me look like an idiot. 5 most common myths about VA disability. There we go. And that is 5 most common myths about VA disability. Can y'all hear that? Can someone tell me if you can hear that? Because I'm in headphones. I don't know if you can. I've never done this before. It's kind of weird, actually. Anxiety. Starting with number 5, and believe it or not, You know what? This is a bit weird. I'm just going to save. We'll just call this. We'll just call it. What I will do is pull off my templates, at least. I'll get that started. Then we can just, I'll figure out all the rest afterwards. It's about to be midnight. I got to work. I'll be at work early tomorrow. Sucks. Yeah, if you're ever curious as to how I edit, this is it right here. Nothing fancy. Nothing fancy. These are just words, and this is my intro. Boop. This bad boy down here. Boop. 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 All right, I'm sure there's more questions. I'll get to it right after I do some more copy pasting. Okay, it's annoying. Here we go. Boom. 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 That's my templates. Oh, I missed one. My templates. Then go back to my working. Back to. I am kind of hesitant to do that one. But we'll see. If you saw that quick enough, then cool beans. Oh yeah, let me know if you can actually hear where I'm. La-di-da-di-da. Watching me edit is probably something no one cares about, so I'll just put my comments there. Save it. Call that a day. Here's the thing I wanted to show, actually, now that I'm here. Whatever, I'll show you real quick. It's that one. Let's see what it looks like. That's not it. Come on. That's what it is. Look at this. Look at this bat. Look at this thing right here. Look at that. That thing's cool. Probably do something like that, maybe? I don't know. I'll have to mess around with it. I think that's pretty cool, if you ask me. Is it transparent? Okay, probably still won't fuck with it. Okay, back to the stream. Answer a few more questions and probably just go night-night. I wasn't even sharing my screen then? What an idiot. Awesome. I use Premiere Pro. Keith, as always. What's up? You aren't sharing, brother. Yeah. Sorry about that. I am an idiot. Okay. Yeah. Believe it or not, the beginning of the stream, if you watch it, 10 minutes prior to even going live, I was answering questions. I forgot to hit the live button. I told you I'm not a tech dude at all. Any insight incapacitating episodes? Yeah, incapacitating. There's some different connotations depending on what you're talking about. But basically, you can't do absolutely anything when X is happening. Incapacitating. Okay, now that I'm done being an idiot, I'll at least show you what I was talking about, and then I'll probably just X out for the night. Give me your, is that a good video idea? 5 presidential, or no, just 5 is not there. Presidential candidates and their views on military veterans. I'm thinking about doing that for the race I'm not big into policy. That veteran info tap dude, he's a policy guru. I don't know how he cranks it out. But yeah, so what I was saying is this thing right here in the bottom corner, if you can see it, I really like it. That's my new thing I bought. I want to see if it's actually transparent. It is transparent. That's cool. Okay. Anyways, this is how I edit. I use Premiere Pro. I'll make all my cuts. I haven't made no cuts yet. Some shiny words, intro, subscribe, live stream. That's how I do it. But I like this thing. I'll blow it up for you. And let's make it 100. That's what it looks like. I think it's awesome. But yeah, that's what I guess. Okay. Not that any of that matters, but I think you get the point. There we go. Bada bing, bada boom. Vet Advocate, the Superman of the stream here. Okay, that's about it. Probably going to head off. I have to go to work tomorrow. Believe it or not, YouTube's not what I do. I've actually never planned on making this anything. It just kind of happened. But I'll tell you all the plans I have for this channel coming up. Just in case you're here still. Yeah, Vet Advocate's awesome. So I'm going to start interviewing some of my close friends that have specific instances. So one of my friends was med boarded. He's going through, or he's trying to apply for CRSC right now. So he's going through that process. I want to talk to him and just ask him specific questions on that. Another one of my friends was making 6 figures. He was making good money. He actually quit to do social media full time. He's a Marine. The first dude was the Army. This dude was a Marine. He does social media full time, and he has his own disability journey on that. So I'll talk to him. There's some nonprofit organizations preventing or trying to prevent veteran suicide. I want to talk to them. But my main focus is always going to be VA disability. So I'm always going to make videos to inform and educate the community. Just trying to branch out a little bit and share the love. But yeah, that's the plan. That's all I got. Thank you for coming. Vet Advocate, as always, thank you for coming. I appreciate that. Your knowledge and expertise is extremely, extremely valuable. And last second donation, brother. Thank you so much. Just showing support. Appreciate Sharma connection. Hey, I'm glad you reached out to him. Independent medical opinions and DBQs come in clutch when you've been denied multiple times, especially for denials on secondaries. That's really when I'm going to recommend a medical opinion. 9 times out of 10, it's not needed, but I'm glad it worked out for you. And so anyone watching this, I would caution you going Nexus letter shopping prior to just doing the claim yourself first. That'd be my advice. Please do a video on med boards. I absolutely will. I will say this: being med boarded doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get 100% off the gate. It might mean that, but doesn't necessarily mean that. So it depends. Keith, thank you very much. I appreciate you always commenting, always liking. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's about it. I'm going to head out. Thank you very much. Take care. And Vet Advocate is the bomb diggity. Okay? We might do something special for him one day. All right. I'm going to end the broadcast. Thank you very much.